We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
ISIS attacks Russia. The IDF intensifies hunt for Hamas terrorists, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Russian authorities said they had detained 11 people in connection with a terrorist attack on a concert hall in a Moscow suburb, as the death toll from Friday night's violence rose to 133, according to investigators. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday vowed to punish those responsible for what he called a premeditated mass killing of unarmed people. Among those taken into custody were 4 people who prosecutors said played a direct role in the attack, in which gunmen shot audience members at close range and set off smoke bombs. Islamist extremist group ISIS claimed responsibility for the assault, saying it had struck a strong blow in its campaign against countries fighting Islam. U.S. officials, who said they warned Russia earlier this month of intelligence indicating an impending terrorist threat, said they believe a branch of ISIS based in Afghanistan, known as ISIS-K, was behind the attack. Israeli forces are fighting in a growing number of places in the Gaza Strip that they had previously taken and withdrew from, showing how Israel is struggling to eliminate Hamas and bring the Palestinian enclave under its control. On Sunday, fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas militants intensified around Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis and Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City, with the Israeli military saying it struck dozens of targets. Israeli troops previously fought battles in the same places in recent months and said that Hamas's formation in those areas had been defeated and dismantled. Israel's war effort in Gaza has been hampered by the lack of a plan for how to stabilize the enclave after suppressing Hamas's fighters. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected calls from Israel's international partners, including the U.S. and key Arab countries, for a reformed Palestinian Authority to run Gaza. Without a civil authority to restore order, security, and basic services, and with the Israeli military disinclined to fully reoccupy the Strip with troops on the ground, swaths of Gaza have descended into anarchy. Israel says it will ignore U.S. efforts to stop a Rafah ground assault, saying that taking the Gaza border city from Hamas is too strategically important. With inter-Korean ties sinking to their worst level in years, concerns are running especially high on Yongpyong, a tiny South Korean island less than 2 miles from North Korean shores. It is the site of a deadly 2010 artillery attack, and Pyongyang reignited concerns of an attack in January when it lobbed hundreds of shells into nearby waters. U.S. and South Korean military officials doubt that Kim Jong-un regime is gearing up for a major assault. Shin Won-sik, South Korea's defense minister, warns Pyongyang could attempt smaller provocations, such as torpedo attacks on South Korean ships. But something akin to a 2010 shelling attack on Yongpyong, Shin said, would be met with a crushing defeat of North Korean forces. The number of migrant encounters at the U.S. southern border for February hit a new high for the month this year, according to Customs and Border Protection figures released on Friday. This reversed a sharp drop in numbers in January. There were 189,922 migrant encounters along the border in February. That's higher than the 156,000 in the same month in 2023. The highest it had been for February was in 2022, when numbers reached 166,010. New York's Attorney General Letitia James could begin seizing Donald Trump's assets if he doesn't put up a nearly $500 million bond by today. When he lost the civil fraud trial last month, Trump was ordered to pay $464 million, but after being rejected by companies for a bond, his lawyers claimed securing one was a practical impossibility. He's asked an appeals court to reduce or push back the bond requirement ahead of today's deadline. James has threatened to seize Trump's assets and suggested that the former president should secure the entire value by selling off his real estate holdings, which his attorney Clifford S. Robert called unconstitutional. Pollster Frank Luntz recently warned that the New York Attorney General's efforts to seize Trump's properties could devastate Democrats in the upcoming election. "I want you to remember this moment and don't forget it," the pollster began on CNN. "If the New York Attorney General starts to take his homes away, starts to seize his assets, it's all going to be on camera. You're going to create the greatest victimhood of 2024, and you're going to elect Donald Trump." The case has already had a chilling effect on real estate investment in New York City. Most legal pundits expect that this case will be overturned on appeal. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.